Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is a practice lesson of how to read the mud. In the previous lesson, we spoke about the mud, what is a mud and how much to elongate it. So how to read the mud along with the tashdeed. So let's see Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. As you can see that there is waw with the alif after it. You can see that it is a alif madda, but after that there is a ta with a tashdeed. So I have told you this before, that you have to drop the letters and directly join with the tashdeed letter, because the tashdeed letter is dependent on the predecessor. So I will read waw ta zabar wat, ta zabar ta, wat ta, wat ta. Then you have ra, alif zabar ra, but as you can see there is a mud over the ra. Okay, so you just cannot say ra, you have to drag it. Ra. Okay, wat ta ra eb. You have to read it this way. Wat ta ra eb. Then see the next one. It is waw noon zabar one, noon vertical zabar na, one na, sheen zir shi, one na shi, to vertical zabar to, one na shi to, ta zir ti, one na shi to ti, one na shi to ti. Then you have one na zi'ati, one na zi'ati. I'm doing the gunna in noon mushaddad, okay? When noon bears a tashdeed and the meme bears a tashdeed, there should be a little bit gunna in it. Wan nazi'ati, was-sabihati, was-sabihati, fas-sabiqati, fas-sabiqati, fal-mudabbirati. You can see that there is a jazm over the quiescent over the lam. So you will join the fa and the lam. Fa lam zabar fal. Mudabbirati. Fal mudabbirati. Tub. Las. Ta ba pesh tub. Then you have to join the lam with the seen, because the seen is bearing a tashdeed. Tub. Las sarairu. Tub. Las sarairu. Then you have fa zabar fa, mim ha zabar mah, fa mah, ha zir hi, fa mah hi, lam lam zir lil, fa mah hi lil kafirina, fa mah hi lil kafirina. Bil khunnasil jawaril kunnasi. Do the hijja if you find it difficult. Ba lam zir bil. Then kha noon pesh khun, bil khun, noon zabarna, bil khunna, seen lam zir sil, bil khunna sil, jawaril kunnasi, bil khunna sil, jawaril kunnasi. Then you have ihdina, ihdina. But in the next line, you can see that the sod has a tashdeed and it is dependent on the predecessor. And the predecessor is ihdina. So we will join the noon with the sod. Noon sod zabar nas. Ihdina siratal mustaqima. Ihdina siratal mustaqima. Okay. Now there is a different thing that you have to learn today, which is, until now we had learned that if there are two dependent letters, so the first dependent letter is to be dropped. Okay, but over here now there is a different thing. Listen carefully and pay attention. It is dad alif zabar da. Okay, and then you can see that the lam is bearing a tashdeed. So according to the rule, we have to drop the alif. Understood? We have to drop the alif, but as you can see that the alif is bearing a mud. So where there is a mud, so below that mud, both the dependent letters are to be read. You will not drop anything over here. So how do you read it? You have to first elongate the dad alif zabar da and then join the lam. Dal lan. This way. First elongate the letter of madda, which is to be elongated, because madda means to drag, madda means to elongate. So you have to first drag and elongate the do to the fullest, then join the lam sound and then the lam itself. So it is dollan, dollan. Okay, then see the next one. It is dal alif zabar da, but you can see that the ba is bearing a tashdeed. So according to the ruling, it should have been dabbatin. But if you say dabbatin, then there is no meaning of the mud over there. Okay, so we cannot drop the mud. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to include both the dependent letters into the mud and then read it. So how do we read it? We will first elongate the da to the fullest and then join the ba. Dab. Okay, dabbatin, dabbatin. This way. See the next one. It is hajjaka, hajjaka. If you are unable to read it without the hijjah, and if you want to do the hijjah, you can do the hijjah like this. Until now, we were doing the hijjah like ha, jim, zabar, had, jim, zabar, ja, hajj. We were dropping the alif. But here we have to include the alif. So in the hijjah also, you will include the alif. We will say ha, alif, jim, zabar, hajj. Then jim, zabar, jo. Hajj. Kaf, zabar, ka. Hajjaka. Hajjaka. Then you have hajjuka, hajjuka. Ladalluna, ladalluna. Waladdallina, waladdallina. Okay, now the next word, it has two mud in it. Okay, so pay attention. It is alif zabar a, ta pesh tu, atu. Then you have ha, alif, jim, zabar, haj. Atu, hajju. Okay, this is the first mud. Then you can see that on the ju there is another mud. So you have to drag what? You have to drag the jim, waw pesh, ju. Always remember only the letters of madda or the vertical zabar, vertical zer and reverse pesh. All the 6 long vowel sounds are to be dragged. Nothing other than this is to be dragged. Okay. So it is atuhajjuni. So what is to be dragged? First is the ha and then is the ju. These 2 letters of madda. First is the alif madda, the next is the waw madda. Both letters of madda have to be dragged. It is atuhajjuni. Come to the next one. Wala tahadduna, wala tahadduna. Wassafati, wassafati. Ja'ati. Then see the next word. It has a sawd with a tashdeed, so it is dependent on the predecessor, and its predecessor is ja'ati. So you have to join both of them. Ja'ati sakhatu, ja'ati sakhatu. فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى. فإذا جاءت الطامة الكبرى. Okay, so this was the lesson of mad along with the tashdeed. So write it down, make a note. that the rule is whenever the two dependent letters are together, so the first letter is always dropped. But in the case of mad, if there is a mad over the first dependent letter or the letter of madda, then it cannot be dropped. Then you have to read both the dependent letters together along with the mad. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi.